The James Webb Telescope has just discovered that the brightness of Betelgeuse has suddenly increased by a factor of over 250%. There has been some peculiar behavior displayed by Betelgeuse, the red star that is located at the shoulder of the Orion constellation. This has fueled the anticipation for a once-in-a-lifetime event. There is a possibility that the star is getting ready to go supernova, as indicated by the increase in brightness. However, it is not clear when exactly this will take place. The experts are of the opinion that it might happen very soon. As we delve into the mysteries that surround this celestial giant, we invite you to join us as we explore new depths of space. With such a significant increase in brightness, Betelgeuse is capable of reshaping our entire understanding of the universe. This is all taken into consideration. The magnificent Betelgeuse is a radiant reddish dot that shines brightly at the shoulder of Orion, a well-known constellation. Even if you are not familiar with its name, it is likely that you have also observed this magnificent object. At this very moment, Betelgeuse is an enormously massive entity. In fact, if we placed it at the heart of our solar system, its outer surface would extend beyond Jupiter's orbit. The fact that this enormous star can be seen from a distance continues to captivate our attention. Betelgeuse, in contrast to the majority of stars, undergoes transformations right in front of our very eyes because of its relatively close proximity to our galaxy. Classified as a semi-regular variable star, Betelgeuse's brightness fluctuates, sometimes dramatically, as it moves steadily toward an eventual grand collapse in a supernova explosion. If you've made it this far into the video, you clearly share our passion for exploring the mysteries of the universe and uncovering the truths behind these groundbreaking discoveries. We dive deep into these topics regularly, bringing you the latest updates from space science, astronomy, and beyond. If that's something you're excited about too, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss out on our upcoming videos. We've got so much more to explore together, and your support helps us keep bringing you content that makes the wonders of the universe more accessible. Although already quite conspicuous, Betelgeuse has become even more intriguing in recent years due to unexpected fluctuations in its brightness that we still struggle to fully comprehend. Why is Betelgeuse shining so brightly and behaving so strangely? While it's uncharted territory, its recent behavior stems from an event back in 2020. In 2019 and 2020, Betelgeuse went through a period known as the Great Dimming, an event we'll discuss later. Because of this, the nearest red giant star to Earth is now pulsating at double its usual speed, illuminating the early evening sky in the southern hemisphere. This strange behavior of one of the brightest stars in the sky is giving scientists unprecedented insight into the demise of stars as Betelgeuse rapidly transitions between its bright and dim states. In recent times, Betelgeuse has occasionally exhibited more than a 50% increase in brightness. However, on May 20, 2023, a Twitter account named Betelbot, which is dedicated to tracking Betelgeuse using data from the American Association of Variable Star Observation, reported something strange, a staggering 142% surge in brightness. The most recent updates indicate a 150% increase. Astrophysicist Andrea Dupree from the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics noted that Betelgeuse currently ranks as the 7th brightest star in the night sky, climbing 3 places from its usual 10th position. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you can easily see Betelgeuse shining brightly in the early evening, located at the shoulder of the Orion constellation. You can also see it from the northern hemisphere as the days grow shorter. Dr. Sarah Webb, an astrophysicist from Swinburne University of Technology in Australia, points out one of the coolest things about Betelgeuse: we can actually see the final stages of a big star's life happening in real time, something we've never studied in such detail before. By observing Betelgeuse, we can learn crucial information about what happens to red giants before they explode as supernovae. When Betelgeuse eventually explodes, it could become incredibly bright for about a week, even visible during the day, and might even cast shadows at night. This has caught the attention of both amateur stargazers and professional astronomers, all excitedly awaiting a truly special event. One day, Betelgeuse will explode and end its life in a supernova. Since we're only about 650 light-years away, we'll have a fantastic view of this cosmic explosion. Heidi Morris, a scientist at Los Alamos National Laboratory and president of Pajarito Astronomers, says that people love Betelgeuse. It has been undergoing these brightness changes for a long time, and astronomers have long been aware that Betelgeuse brightens and fades again. Ancient cultures, such as the Aboriginal Australians and ancient Greeks, also noticed this pattern thousands of years ago. Normally, Betelgeuse's brightness cycle lasts around 400 days, but recently, its brightness has been changing much more quickly, about every 130 days. Andrea Dupree, who studies Betelgeuse, has observed that this unusual behavior started in 2019 after the star forcefully blew off part of its outer atmosphere. These changes in brightness are not typical, leading to questions about whether Betelgeuse is on the verge of a supernova explosion. However, this is completely new territory for scientists. According to a paper written by Dupree and other scientists from Harvard and the University of California, Berkeley, it will take another 5 to 10 years for Betelgeuse to return to its usual 400-day brightness cycle. The star has never been the same since the Great Dimming. Its light and radial velocity have changed noticeably. Despite this, Betelgeuse is still a massive red supergiant that has lived a fast and intense life. It's only around 10 million years old, whereas our Sun is about 5 billion years old. Betelgeuse is currently in the final stages of its rapid evolution. Eventually, when it exhausts its fuel, its core will collapse under its enormous mass, resulting in an explosion that could outshine entire galaxies. When will Betelgeuse explode? That's the question on everyone's mind, but it's hard to say. While there's a lot of speculation, experts remain uncertain. We currently have no reliable way of predicting when stars will explode, so we don't know when Betelgeuse will go supernova. Ofer Grauer, an associate professor of astronomy at the University of Portsmouth, explains that supernovae are rare events, so astronomers haven't had many to study, making it difficult to predict. This uncertainty means there's a slim chance anyone alive today will witness Betelgeuse's spectacular explosion. Betelgeuse is still undergoing its fusion processes. As a red giant, it fuses elements like helium, carbon, oxygen, silicon, and eventually iron. The current analysis suggests Betelgeuse is in the early stages of fusing helium into carbon in its core. This process can last for thousands of years, meaning Betelgeuse might not explode for a very long time. Jared Goldberg, an astrophysicist at the Flatiron Institute, believes Betelgeuse will eventually explode, but soon could mean any time in the next 10,000 to 100,000 years. Despite this, there's some evidence that Betelgeuse is still in an earlier phase, meaning the star may not explode for a very long time. The possibility that we could witness the explosion of Betelgeuse in our lifetime is astonishing, but highly unlikely. Nonetheless, it's a fascinating reminder of how much we have yet to learn about the stars and the universe.